Welcome back to Imagination Station Network, episode 31. Wow. Can you believe it? 31 guests on here. And I was going to cap it at 30, and here we go. We're just going to go for it.
We've broken that, sorry.
No, aye, absolutely. And thanks for coming, Mark and Roz. I'll let you explain what you do, but how are you feeling today?
Well, it's cold outside, but it's nice and warm in here.
Heating on for 8
It's
o'clock.
a beautiful
Thanks
day.
for the heating. Beautiful day. Sunny.
Yeah.
Kelso's lovely as well.
Kelso is old we knew. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Full family old now.
It's quite a bustling place, isn't it, really?
It is. Do you know my only gripe with Kelso is that the roads are too big for my wee legs. See when I'm because it's the cattle that used to come, so the roads need to be wide.
Right.
But when you're trying to get to the other side, it's like cars coming. I'm like,
Yeah.
At least you can usually hear them on the cobbles.
true. That is very true. Actually, maybe that's why they kept them.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming. I love it when creatives come on that don't class themselves as creatives, and use our creatives. And one of the fittest creatives that we've had on here, I see you everywhere. And sometimes when we go past you and we don't recognise you, I was like, this, you know, the green shop, Mark, because you've already zipped past. So if we do say that again, we're not being rude. We just didn't see you. So let you explain what you do, where you's come from. That's my Ayrshire accent, where he's come from.
That's very good. Go on then.
Do you want to start?
Okay, so
we can fight on here as well.
Well,
We'll
we
have a fight.
don't
start,
like
I know what
fighting. We're pacifists, aren't we? Well, I am anyway. So yeah, we currently own and run the Green Shop in Berwick upon Tweed, Bridge Street. A nice ethical, organic food,
Fair trade.
fair trade, cruelty-free shop. We took it over 2-3 years ago, really because it was going to close.
Yep, 100%.
Previous owners were ready for retirement, and we'd been shopping in the shop for 20 plus years, and we couldn't see it close.
Mm-hmm.
We joined a little action group, didn't we, to try and
Save it
through a community buyout or a cooperative buyout, but there wasn't enough time to do that. So we thought, let's just buy it ourselves and run it as a private business for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
How's it gone so far? I'm doing an interview now. How's it gone?
Hey, if I take over, I'll happily sit and drink my tea.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, the Green Shop's a big part of Berwick. You know, it's
Massive.
been there since 1993.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge part of all the shops on Bridge Street. And we looked at each other really back in the beginning of 2023 and couldn't imagine life in Berwick without it, really. You know, that's what it was going to boil down to, as we were thinking, well, if we don't do something...
Busy shop, and that's nice.
Yeah.
I can sit out in that wee... You very rarely see me out, but if I sit in that wee bench, because that wee bench it holds a place for me, because Simon, who used to have the shop across the road, I broke down in the pouring rain. Everybody who knows me knows I hate the rain, sensory issues, and he went out his way to get jump leads to start my car again in the pouring rain, traffic there. So I sit there sometimes just to have a wee moment, and everybody goes in and out there. And you know, 90% of people that go in there always say good morning, or they're very, very happy, and that's genuine. I am brutally honest with people, and see that for me, when I was going through a great time, that's nice.
Yeah.
And we've been going in for years as well, but we go in. I like the smell. I like the lighting. Everything's just perfect for me when I go in there. And sometimes when I'm in the wee zone, and the girls who work behind there, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel awkward, and it's not anything they've done. It's because I'm literally walking about in some wee fantasy land with the sun's outside, the smelling's great, and then I'm like, that says don't touch those wee things, and I want to touch it. Do you know what I mean? But it's a nice vibe you've got in there.
Almost everything doesn't say don't touch it.
Just
one or two
I
sort
need
of
to show you something actually.
things. Oh.
So this is my new wee creepy skull.
Oh my goodness. What's one of them?
Excellent.
Yeah. We'll keep that as a secret.
And not everybody knows actually, but there's, I can't
Where the
tell
mice
you,
come from.
there's one outside there.
Is there?
It's not the only one, aye.
We
We'll have a
haven't
look
seen
for that.
it.
Yeah,
Please.
the shops are got a very positive feel about it. I
Yeah.
think you go in. I mean, we've never told staff or our colleagues what to do, but they all say hello. We always try and offer help. In fact, I was having a joke with a couple on Saturday, because I was in on Saturday with a couple of staff, because they were just laughing all day, and I thought, you can't be having that much fun at work. Why are you having that much fun at work?
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
But people do. I think everybody enjoys working there. But,
Yeah.
but a lot of customers say how positive and nice and welcoming and friendly the shop feels.
And that's a
really
testament to you as well, though, because like I'm a big advocate of you don't know what people's are going through that day. And yes, it sounds creepy, but I'm a people watcher. I don't mean to be being autistic or hyper focused on it. I watch people, and it's normally I'm looking for the kindness, or if it's the somebody who's not having a great day. And you know, as much as I feel awkward, I will talk to somebody. But see, when you see somebody going into a shop, and yes, the it's narrow going up the back. By the time they get to that middle part, man, I should write a book about this. By the time they get to the middle part, they've had to pass somebody. In one way or another.
Yeah.
And I say to Jan in the wait, and I was like, did you see that again? Because when we're in, it's like, we always talk, I say, did you see that again? We only smiling when they come in, but you have to pass somebody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's that energy we don't talk about in the world, and that's why yous are here, because yous have created that, and you've kept it going when it was a time. 3 years ago was a time when the world didn't know where it was happening, and when you came and we met you at the Biz, because that would be the first time I spoke to you. I think, did you have to save it? Did they have a meeting in the YHA?
They did.
I came to that. I was at that, but I didn't speak to anybody. I was just there. So that would have been the first time.
I think we were missing that day. I don't think we were there.
Yeah, we were away sadly,
we were away somewhere. Yeah, but yeah, there was a meeting, wasn't there? We'd had previously been to a different meeting, I think, elsewhere up in Lamberton, hadn't we? And we at that stage we were thinking of just joining that group and doing what we could to buy it out. We didn't think about buying it ourselves.
No.
And I think thanks very much for saying what we've done. But to be honest, we wouldn't have done anything without Ross and Pauline, who set the shop up, because
we've just built on.
We've just built on it,
really. On top,
yeah.
So,
they created the ethos. They created the business, and it is a well functioning business. It's a well run business. We like to think we've changed a few things for the better.
Modestly.
Things like that. We've made that alleyway slightly wider for
a
start. At least we've taken things out the other way
Cluttered.
to try and make it a bit less cluttered and a bit more space to get round. But it's. But yes, it's really down to Pauline and Ross.
Yeah,
in terms
they're
of what
the
they created.
foundations on it. It's the foundation. They were really. I went in just before it was going. You could tell the passion. You know, see when you meet passion that's no privileged.
Yeah.
This is what I'm always talking about on the podcast. Is like when you meet passion without the privilege. That is an inspirational thing where people who give their last to give you something. Do you know what I mean? And that's the foundations that it's built on, and that's what I like. I think of Berwick and I think of that wee shop, and when you first brought up I stopped you and I was like, you know, thanks very much. And very rarely do I stop people to talk, by the way. It's like you just feel right because you have an energy that you are bringing into it. And that's...
I think we're just, you know, we want to do things differently to the big supermarkets. You know, there are some things we can't compete on, but, you know, being friendly and welcoming and, you know, getting to know people. So we have a huge number of regulars who shop in the shop, who live within sort of 200, 400 metres of the shop. So they live in the heart of Berwick, and we are their local supermarket. But, you know, we know them all by name. We know when they order bread. We know exactly what it is they want. You know, we get to know them. We talk to them about how they are. Some days they're having good days, they're having bad days. You know, but it's just that personal interaction, you know, with people that just makes such a big difference. On a Thursday, we're incredibly busy. So Thursday's our busiest day of the week because we have all our bread and our fruit and veg and stuff. So there's often a huge queue of people standing at the till because we only have one till. But actually the majority of those people are quite happy to stand in the queue and chat to the people either side of them, you know, and it's quite a social thing. And actually I think some people choose to come at that time because they know they will have to stand in the queue and they will have that little bit of, you know, interaction.
But you're right, because it could be that, like I always say, like that could be the only interaction they get in that day.
Yeah, could
and
be.
That's what Berwick means. You know, like there is wee places where you can go and you can have a conversation with somebody knowing that that's their only interaction. And that's why it's important. There's no many places like that left.
There's a lot of older customers, or even just things like helping carry people shopping across the road to the car.
Or putting them on the bike. Doing
Yeah,
deliveries.
or helping
doing deliveries. I've not forgotten.
Yes, I haven't done that on my current bike. I think the Berwick electric cargo bike has been used to do some deliveries. In fact, I'm now fully trained on it.
There you go.
I just need a bit more practice on it, so I could be out and about doing that. I mean, I think it's also you said we can't compete on some things. We can't offer what some supermarkets offer, but we do offer probably a far bigger range of food than Tesco. Bizarrely, even though Tesco's a huge store, people come to us for very different ingredients they can't get elsewhere, and we've generally got them. If we haven't got them, we can look to see to get them. So we do a lot of special ordering for customers. Some customers ring us up and say, I'm moving house, or I'm putting some stuff in charity. Have you got any spare boxes? Things like that. We've usually got loads of spare boxes. Somebody came in the other week for some little mushroom plastic boxes, didn't they, for things they were doing.
Storing their apples in from the apple tree in their garden. They wanted some boxes to keep them cool over the winter.
So we've got that personal touch and that flexibility, haven't we? And we're there to serve.
But it's community. That's the whole point.
Serve the community.
Creative community. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like that we're in a lot of places, and a lot of places don't have that.
No.
Now, by the way, don't ridicule me. I know you're all going to shout out. There's a lot of places that do. But I live in Berwick, so Berwick's a place where I see a lot of stuff going on, and everybody's nice. But you just have a great wee something there, and I'm glad you say. Every time I meet you, I say I'm glad you saved that, because you stepped up to the table.
And I have to say, that's one thing we didn't expect when we took it over, that you're not the only one that said that to us, and we're really appreciative for other people's support and thanks. We obviously didn't do it for gratitude or thanks. We did it probably selfish reasons, because we wanted the green shop to stay open, and we quite like shopping it ourselves. So I think as well as the regulars, we also get a lot of tourists in the shop, because that's the nature of Berwick, isn't it? And North Norfolk is a wonderful place to come and visit, which is how we ended up initially in Berwick, wasn't it? And you talk about there's places like that everywhere. It's interesting. A common phrase from some of the tourists is, we wish we had a shop like this where we lived, and things like that.
Or we wish we could take your shop home with us, or we used to have a shop like yours and it closed, or every day, I'd say every single day somebody comes in and says, what an amazing shop. Can we take you home with us? Can you open a branch near where we live?
See, that's
open a branch in Milton Keynes.
I think
probably
you forget.
Not,
maybe in the future. But that's the thing as well, I'm 43, I've turned 43, the world has changed in my 43 years, but I remember the wee shop that used to be there. I remember the guy's name, it was maybe 5 or 6, his name was Tommy, and he had the greengrocer shop that eventually came everything else. It was natural products. We grew our own stuff as well, so it was like, you don't see an awful lot of that anymore because of the big markets and stuff, but
and online as well. Online's taken a lot of trade, I imagine. Yeah.
And the way people are after said world at that time, people are different now. So that's why when I messaged and seen you there, I was like, we were talking about the whole how the world's changed and how shopping's changed, and then you went past, and I was like, grab him, grab him,
quick! He's off on his bike again.
But it's like you can't. The universe is a plan for everybody, I believe, and when you went past and we spoke about it the rest of the day, I was like, can you believe that? When we'd never walked that way at that time, and it was like just there. So guess people will be interested. What have you done before? What's the journey? What's your creative journey to get you here?
Well, go on, you can share, because you've actually recently given up your other job to do this.
Well, I've done lots of things, but I most recently have been working at university in Edinburgh. I'm a midwife by training, so I've been teaching midwifery for the last 15 years, and qualified as a midwife 20 years ago. And up till fairly recently, I was doing both jobs, so working in the shop and working at the university, but most recently I've given my job up at university, so given up the academic side of things to sort of focus more on the shop, and also just being nearer to home and not doing long commutes and all of that,
I can imagine
that entails.
But you're also giving birth to new stuff as well.
Well,
very
yes,
good.
You could use
that's my line as well.
Yeah, man, but it's true though, isn't
it? Yeah, it's a different sort of,
And on the creative front, you're also a landscape architect before that, weren't you? So
I used to be a landscape architect.
Cool.
I've helped run a restaurant a very, very, very long time ago. Me and some friends ran a vegetarian restaurant for a few years. So I've had a little bit of experience, but not that relevant. But nothing really prepared us for what this has entailed, has it really? It has been all-consuming, really. It's just been 24/7.
I can imagine.
It's a little bit better than it was, but it's still very much, 7 days a week.
Oh, hey, I hear you. 7 days a week, but...
And I think that's really underestimated by people again. All
don't underestimate it. We're always talking about the 7 day a week people, and do it because we love it. So be a wee bit more kinder people. That's what we're always talking about, because it is a world of we do because we can, and we will, because there is that negative shroud in the world. So that's why yous are here, man. I keep saying it, but when we meet people who are on, our journeys aren't that different. The journeys are not that different. I use the word creative, but it is very much we are the same. When you get further along, people start realising, like, I never thought of that, and done that, and the same work ethic, and you're like, there you go then. You're now starting to realise why people do what they do. What about yourself, Mark?
Me? Well, I still work full-time elsewhere. I do have another full-time job. So I usually do shop-related things on a Saturday.
Right.
Or in the evening, or when I'm on a train journey to various other things. So I currently work supporting, advising, challenging councils across the North East, Yorkshire, Humber and the East Midlands. So we're doing this today on a Monday. Last Thursday and Friday I was down in the East Midlands.
Wow.
Doing facilitating an away day for a management team and a cabinet for a city council. So that's my main job.
Your real job.
That's my real job. That pays the bills.
His real job.
That pays the bills. And I've been doing that for about 23 years.
Wow.
And before that, I was a politician. So I was myself a council leader and a councillor. And I suppose that was really, in some ways, very similar to a shop. It was about serving people, wasn't it? Serving the community, of course, in many ways. Before that, I was a professional economist. Before I started dabbling in local politics and got involved in that. And before that, very relevantly, I worked in a supermarket.
Hey, there you go.
So both before and after university, I worked initially as a produce manager, as in fruit and veg, at a supermarket before university, which was really a Saturday job initially. And then I started working full-time for a year off before I went to university. Very nearly didn't go to university, but I got sensibly persuaded to go to university and get an education. And then I started doing the same thing when I came out, but then I found it was just too much like hard work.
I've been
getting up early, finishing late, travelling long distances. I was sort of relief manager, relief store manager. So then I used my degree, so I went into being a professional economist for a while. So I've done a lot, and I'm still doing it. One day I will give that up and work full time in the shop, and give Ross some days off.
It all goes hand in hand. That's it. The journey to get you to here, you have to do all that, and we work with a lot of youngsters, and I'm now that guy that says, you get it, there'll be something. I wasn't willing to listen when I was a youngster, but if we don't go and we don't do wee things like this and put it forward, then we're not really doing our human side, are we, by giving this bit away. So it's interesting to hear the journey of people that we're not that different people.
We have phases, don't we? We move in and out of different things, and we find our niche as well.
That's it, the niche.
Think. So you found your niche as a midwife, didn't you? And now we found our niche jointly in the shop. I found my niche in local politics and supporting councils. Some really interesting things.
I bet you have. And
it's an amazing privilege as well to, support other councils now in terms of the way they serve and lead their communities. And having done it myself, I know how really hard it is and how hard it is to please everyone, and actually it's a really challenging world.
Again, I had an interesting conversation with Home Robertson, John, at Paxton.
John
another great guy like yourself. You can't remind me of him. He's dead relaxed, but he's done a lot, and you wouldn't know it. Humble guy who wouldn't go out his way to tell you all this stuff, and that fascinates me. He tries to run away from me when I'm there. They're going to make
he doesn't want to talk anymore.
Make a film about you. They're going to make a film. Like he believes me.
He's not said yes to that.
I think we've always been very passionate about food, haven't we? That's the thing. Mark's very long-term vegetarian, aren't you? And we've always, wherever we go, everywhere in the world, don't we? We always hunt out like really interesting food shops and markets and restaurants and just sort of interesting foodie things. So we've always been really, really passionate about good food and where food comes from and eating well and just trying to sort of do our own little thing to help people eat a bit better, and feel good about eating and food and where their food comes from, and I think all of that's sort of tied up in the shop's ethos
100%.
as well. People look at the front room and they think we're just a gift shop or a
hippie shop.
A
I've
hippie
heard
shop,
that. Yeah.
But actually, we're mainly a food shop.
Yeah.
Mainly a food shop, and you wouldn't guess that from outside.
No.
But and actually, we still have people coming in, every week saying, "I've lived in Berwick X number of years, or I've lived nearby, and I never knew you sold food."
Wow.
And now I know. Like, we have really, really good quality bread 3 days a week. Fantastic bread, and people come from, miles around to get the bread.
It's like soda bread, isn't it?
Sourdough, yeah.
Yeah.
So people will come back for that specifically
Right.
because, it's a big thing to get a really good loaf of bread.
Brilliant.
So, we're still having that. I walk past your shop for years and I've never been in. I never knew that you sold fruit and veg or bread or alcohol or whatever it is. So
it's fascinating that though, isn't it?
Yeah. Even people who are born and bred in Berwick,
And that's one of the things we kept on in terms of the principles of Ross and Pauline. They had principles that they would only ever sell organic food or fair trade or local stuff. And we've kept that almost 100% intact.
Brilliant.
So the bulk of the food we sell in the shop is organic only, and I think that is what makes us different to maybe some other whole food shops around the country who sell all sorts of whole foods but aren't organic whole foods. And we also sell a few elements of fair trade. So there's a lot of Palestinian products at the moment in the shop, for instance, and other fair trade coffee.
And it's nice that the team know the product. I know
they
you
do,
can
they
go
know
into
the
other
bits
places,
and
but they
pieces.
know it, and that's one of the things that really had me in there. And I'm curious. I don't ask loads of questions, but when the answer's there, it so makes a difference.
Generally know, they generally know the answers.
We've got a fantastic team, but we've got a team, who, again, a lot of them are very passionate about food. We've got people who are vegan, we've got people who are gluten-free, we've got people who are vegan and gluten-free, we've got people who've run their own food businesses before. But we've got people with various different allergies, different sorts of nuts and things. So actually we get lots of people coming in the shop saying, can you help me? Can you give me information about this cooking? Or I'm gluten-free, I need to make something gluten-free. And it's great having them as a resource. And I'm learning a lot as well. But, they've had a whole lifetime of being gluten-free or whatever. So they're absolutely brilliant in terms of
there is a lot of gluten-free people out there. There is a lot, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know as well. And that's why it's like I was going to do the Toys R Us advert under one roof, but it is. Everything is under one roof when people need to go there. And that's the... I've seen people try to get in before 10.
Yeah,
Us being some of them, I was like,
yeah.
But that's nice to see though, because that means that they're excited to get in there, because it's an experience. That's the word I was trying to use earlier. It's a wee journey, and it's an experience that you give, and not an awful lot of people do it. You can go into loads of shops in Berwick, and you will not get an experience. You'll just get somebody behind the desk that looks bored. They've been there for years, or on their phone, and that's fine. But for somebody like me who's neurodivergent, and sometimes I don't want to talk to anybody, so I'll eat my own words there, actually. Sometimes I want to go into shops that don't have, but it's great to have you on the show, man. And I can sit and talk to you all day. There's certain people you meet along your journey where you just have something. You're putting something into the universe, and there's a plan unfolding, and it's nice to see. And we're big advocates. Wherever we go, we'll absolutely tell everybody. Have you been to Cafe U?
Yes,
I thought so, man. Because Cafe U's got the same feeling as you guys.
And
they're good people.
You were there a few weeks ago in the back room, weren't you, trying to get some wrapping paper and things like that? They got a little
it's great, little miniature.
They're good people, man.
Yeah, lovely.
Good, like yourselves.
They were really helpful.
And I used to be a vegetarian, back eating meat, but I used to be a vegetarian. So when I go in somewhere that sells food like I used to eat, and it is what it is. That's another thing that's big for us, man. Is like, it is what it is. We are in there to eat, we're in there to chat, and when we can, we'll leave a mega review because it's the right thing. But it's just there's places, pockets of wee shops, and people who are in it are important this day and age, man. And if we don't use our platform to show people like that, then I'm not doing my job right is what I do, and I've found what I want to do, and other people haven't yet, and that's why Imagination Station Network exists. Imagination is all you need to come when you come to the building. The station is somewhere where you go, but it's also somewhere you can watch somebody else's journey, and that's what we're doing with yous in a non-creepy way. Network, if there's anything you see that we can contribute, don't be shy. The network is quite vast, and I have 184 guests to get through. Wow. So there will be somebody there that'll be able, and don't be shy, just ask. I'm no shy sometimes, but if there's anything we can help with, whether it be a donation for a charity for yous, or let us know. We started with £4.80 and we're getting somewhere. You're
doing fine.
If you don't compliment the people on the way up, when I come back down, they'll be waiting. So you've got to always just compliment the way up.
I think a lot of it's word of mouth, isn't it? It's really that simple thing. You know, if you've had like you said, if you've had a positive experience, tell somebody about it. You know, reviews are great, but you know, we get so many people coming in and saying, "Oh, my friend said when you go to Berwick, you must go to the Green Shop."
That's some feeling, isn't it?
I mean, so many dozens and dozens and dozens of people say that, you know, from all over the country. So, and it's that word of mouth, which is very incredibly old-fashioned, but it's very powerful.
It's worked ever since we started beating drums to the distance. You know, it's like I'm a big advocate of all that old school stuff. It's I'll not tell you what my granny used to say. Sweary Mary, that was her name. But I'll not say it on the camera because we've been no swearing in this episode. But she was the same, and a lot of ethics. I only discovered 2 years ago, because I'm trying to catch up with the world, that she used to tell me to don't touch your tea, and I'm like, being a wee ADHD, I'm like, I just want my tea, I want to dunk the biscuits in, but you need to wait that long to let it brew. And when the penny clipped 2 years ago, then we decided to go and get our own tea, ethically tea. I think it's Genier teas, and we created our own blend, 7 blends of tea. So we are kind of keeping within the thing, but that instant where I only remembered as a 6-year-old kid that my granny says don't touch it, and I would have had to wait that long for that to click, and I just base everything on that, and I'm paying everything back as I go.
So you're now competing with us on tea?
Nah, I drink it. I say to people, listen, we have tea, man, but it's like I go through tea. I have 6 or 7 cups a day.
Back to the word of mouth. I hate tea.
I love tea.
Back to the word of mouth sort of stuff. I think that is what community is, isn't it? It's what binds people together, the way they communicate with each other and share an experience or share a love of something.
Passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And or the passion. Yeah, and I think that does work well for us. We do upset customers occasionally, don't we? Not deliberately, but
you know the bad ones, but the bad press gets you good.
Get
10 customers for every
I think
bad
when we because we sometimes we don't stock some things. So even though I said we stock organic food, there are some manufacturers we won't stock.
Right.
So we're very clear that we get all our grocery products from 4 main organic wholesalers, and some of these are equal pay wholesalers, like Suma, based in West Yorkshire. So it's an equal pay cooperative, so they all get paid the same, whether they drive or whether they're the chief executive. Things like that, all get paid the same hourly rate. Infinity, based down in Brighton, another cooperative wholesaler. Green City, it's based in Glasgow, and Organic North, which is based in Manchester. But they're also very careful about who they stock. Yeah. So, for instance, Green and Black's chocolate, organic chocolate.
Your favourite.
Yeah. But we don't stock it because it's owned by Cadbury's Mondelez, basically a huge multinational company. Yeah. So there are some things we will not stock, and sometimes customers come in expecting to find that organic product, and we're saying we're not stocking it because of that.
Good for you.
That reason. So we're we've continued on Ross and Pauline's ethical, so it's about small producers.
And maybe that just makes people think, you know, a little bit about the product they're buying or whatever, you know, so they'll come in and say, I want this brand of oat milk or whatever, and we're like, well, we don't have that brand, but we've got all of these ones, and they're like, oh, right, okay, that's interesting, and they might try something different, something new, and maybe then they might say, well, why don't you sell that brand, and we'll explain a little bit more about who owns them.
So in business, man, you've got to be careful who you get into bed with, they say, and that's the same thing as the same ethics. We work with a lot of companies who, in a past life where I've worked, and they were the same. It was like, you know, we could take at least another, let's say, £200,000-300,000 worth of business, but we won't, because we will not.
Who you choose not to work with,
because that's the ethic. It's what they do with their money, and you know they're part of this. And I was like, oh, I used to work for the bank, so I was like quite taken back, but respect. Instantly, respect was installed in me with that. And it's true, you've got to be careful.
If anybody that's really interested in ethics, there's a good magazine called Ethical Consumer, and it does sort of validate or question certain suppliers and things like that. So we use that as a benchmark to some extent.
It's a bit
on
like
what
Which, isn't it?
Bit
It's like an ethical version of Which.
So we will use that. So we intend to continue the ethos, the ethics that Ross and Pauline started off, and if anything, we're probably hardening in some cases. So we also want to be an ethical employer as well. So last week was Real Living Wage Week. Right. There is a charity that runs the Real Living Wage Foundation. 16,000 employers nationally are paying above the national living wage, the real living wage, and we're one of them. Brilliant. Very few retailers actually do, but we do that. And in fact, we increased wages last week because they announced the new rate a couple of weeks ago. And so we're committed to being the very best employer as well, which may be why people are smiling and
happy people, happy team, happy people coming in. That's how it is, and you can tell you're passionate about what he's doing. And there's not an awful lot of businesses with the same passion as you've got, and that's the real nitty gritty of how businesses survive in these days, is because people are passionate, and we ride with the bad times, with the good times, and we talk about the bad times and the good times. But also like how we inspire, like our company motto is inspire to be inspired, because you inspire me, so it's right that I then give you and show you what we do in a kind of different way, but show you and go, that's what it is to the world. I don't know how long I've got left, so I'm just going to continue to do and show people and trying to contribute to a world that may not want me be here sometimes, but I will certainly continue to do what I do, and it sounds like you as well. Before we go, can you tell the guys where to find you? I like when you used it.
You can do the advert.
We're on Bridge Street in the heart of Berwick upon Tweed. So we're down near the old bridge, not far from the quayside. And it's the sort of heart of the independent shops in Berwick are on Bridge Street and West Street, which is two sort of perpendicular to each other. It's probably the most interesting part of the town, isn't it? In terms of wandering around, and come down and see us. And you'll have a very friendly welcome. And
it smells nice as well. But also you'll find on social media, so you find them on The Green Shop on Facebook and on Instagram.
Yes, that's right.
Do you have a TikTok yet?
We don't have a TikTok.
No yet.
What's TikTok?
No. Don't. I do all the things, and it's like, you notice I put my phone flat when I come in, because that's me. I need to give myself that space for it, because it's just everywhere.
And one day we might have a website, and people do ask us all the time, can we shop online with you? But really our philosophy is we want to get people into Berwick, we want people in the shop, but we want them in town, walking around, going to the cafes, going to the other shops, enjoying the experience, telling their friends, and shopping online just doesn't do that.
I don't shop online. I've done it twice, I think, during COVID, and
so it's definitely a face-to-face experience, and that's so important. Town centres have been so degraded, haven't they?
Yeah.
And everybody moans about that as well.
Yeah.
But everybody's part of the problem, aren't they? If you're shopping online and you supermarkets and stuff. So if we can get people to come into Berwick, come into the shop, go to the local coffee places, that's great. Spend their money, local, enjoy their experience. Then it just keeps it vibrant, keeps it alive. It's one less empty shop. It's just creates that community, doesn't it? Really. So.
And that's it. It's the point where it's everything we all know, but there's the fear factor. Everybody's scared. Whereas if nothing changes, nothing changes. But if we don't sit on a couch and sit and talk about these things, then people will get to know by what you're doing, and you're doing a great job at it. But guys, listen, I always say this: please take 10 minutes for yourself today. It is never a request. It's more a suggestion for me. I take 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. Sometimes it's 5 because of ADHD and I'm a wee. But listen, it's important that all the things we're talking about, ethics, but first of all, you've got to be healthy in your mind and your body. Take 10 minutes, whether it be sit outside with a cup of tea, sit outside with a cup of coffee, talk to somebody, that phone call that you've not made, all that stuff. Please just take a wee bit for yourself. That's what I'm saying. It's a big world that we share.
But there's an energy runs through. Take some of that for yourself. And if you don't today, try tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Good advice, James.
Yeah,
Thank you
nice
very
to talk
much.
to
Good
you.
people, man. You've got a good energy.
And you're a good person.
Thanks.
Thank you
I don't
so
take
much.
compliments because I get awkward, but I appreciate you.
We don't mind you getting awkward.
We
but
do
take the
appreciate you.
Yeah.
These are good people.
Thank you.
So follow them, guys, on the social media. We'll tag in at the bottom, and have a good day.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.